a calm, quiet night, Benji the Bear sat just outside his cozy den, gazing up at the sky. The stars were twinkling gently above, casting their soft light over the forest. Benji loved the nighttime, with its calm and its mysteries. And tonight he felt a special pull, an invitation, as if the night itself wanted him to go on an adventure. Benji stood up, stretched, and padded over to the start of the starry pathway. The trail glowed faintly with tiny sparkles of stardust, leading into the heart of the forest. Where might it take me? He wondered aloud, feeling excited but calm. As he took his first steps onto the pathway, he felt the cool earth under his paws, and a gentle breeze whispered around him, almost as if it were saying, "Welcome, Benji." As Benji continued down the pathway, a small flickering light appeared just ahead. It floated toward him, bobbing softly like a tiny lantern. As it drew closer, Benji saw that it was a firefly with a gentle, warm glow. "Hello," the firefly greeted him, her tiny light brightening with excitement. "I'm Flicker. Are you walking the starry pathway tonight?" "Yes, I am," Benji replied, smiling. "It's my first time, and I'm so happy to meet you." Flicker buzzed around happily. The starry pathway is a very special place. It's the path where animals walk when they want to feel peace, calm, and magic. "Would you like me to guide you?" "Oh yes, please," said Benji, having Flicker as a friend made the pathway feel even more magical. Benji and Flicker walked together along the pathway. Above them, the stars shone brightly, casting soft, shimmering light onto the leaves, the trees, and the ground. The world around them felt so big, but with Flicker beside him, Benji felt safe and cozy. As they walked, Flicker pointed up at the sky. "The stars are like family," she said. "They're always watching over us, twinkling to remind us that we're never alone." Benji looked up, watching the stars sparkle like little friends in the sky. "I feel like they're saying hello," he whispered, feeling a warm glow in his heart. They passed a small, babbling brook, its water sparkling in the starlight. Benji paused, listening to the soft, soothing sounds of the water flowing, the crickets chirping, and an owl calling out from a distant tree. "It's like a lullaby," Benji said. "Exactly," Flicker replied. "The forest is always singing us to sleep." After a while, they came to a tall, wise-looking tree with a soft, mossy bed at its base. Flicker's glow lit up the area just enough for Benji to see the moss, which looked as soft as a cloud. "I think this is the perfect spot to rest," said Benji, feeling his paws grow tired. Flicker settled beside him, her gentle light casting a warm glow over the mossy bed. Benji lay down, feeling the cool, soft moss beneath him and the gentle warmth of Flicker's light nearby. The night air felt crisp but comforting, like a cozy blanket wrapping around him. As Benji lay there, he looked up at the stars one last time. They twinkled back, as if they were saying, "Good night, Benji." He smiled, feeling the peace of the forest all around him. Flicker's light glowed softly beside him, a little reminder of friendship and magic. With a deep breath, Benji closed his eyes, letting the sounds of the night, the brook, The crickets, the distant owl surround him in a soothing lullaby. And with Flicker's gentle light close by, he slowly drifted into the most peaceful sleep, dreaming of stars, friendship, and the beautiful starry pathway. Good night, Benji, sleep. On the second evening of his adventures, Benji the Bear turned to the starry pathway with Flicker, the firefly, by his side. The night felt extra special, with the full moon casting a silvery light over everything. The forest was alive with soft sounds and shadows that danced under the moonlight. As Benji walked, he heard a faint, soothing sound up ahead, a gentle shushing that grew louder as they continued down the path. Soon they arrived at the edge of a wide, calm river. Its surface was so still that it looked like a mirror, perfectly reflecting the moon and stars above. In the quiet, the river sparkled, its ripples carrying tiny moonbeams across the water. "Isn't it beautiful?" whispered Flicker, her own glow blending with the silver light all around them. "Yes," said Benji, watching the river with wide eyes. He noticed two playful otters floating near the shore. They glided effortlessly, their fur shining in the moonlight. As they drifted close to Benji and Flicker, "Hello there," said one of the otters, spinning gently in the water. "I'm Ollie, and this is my sister Olive. Would you like to sit by the river with us?" Benji smiled and nodded, feeling welcomed by his new friends. He settled himself down on the soft grass near the edge of the river, dipping a paw in to feel the cool, gentle water. Ollie and Olive floated beside him, looking up at the sky. "Did you know," Ollie began, "that every night the river holds the moon's light and spreads it like a soft blanket over the whole forest?" Benji looked down at the water, mesmerized by how it seemed to carry bits of moonlight along its ripples. It was as if the river and the moon were sharing secrets, creating a calming light for all the animals in the forest. Olive hummed softly, a tune that matched the gentle flow of the water. Benji closed his eyes and listened. There was something magical about the sound of the river and Olive's soft voice. It was almost like a lullaby. The night felt as gentle as a hug, with the soft rustling of leaves in the background and the occasional splash of water as the otters glided by. Quiet sounds of the forest made Benji feel even more flash of light. Benji felt himself drifting, the sounds of the river lulling him to sleep. He looked one last time at the moonlit water, feeling grateful for the magic of the night, the friendship of the otters, and the gentle glow of his friend, the flicker. As his eyes closed, he felt completely at peace, wrapped in the calm and quiet of the moonlit river, dreaming of silvery reflections and the comforting embrace of the moon's light. Good night, Benji. Good night. On the third night of his adventure, along the starry pathway, Benji the Bear set out once again, this time with a feeling of excitement bubbling in his heart. Flicker, his faithful firefly friend, glowed brightly by his side, lighting their way as they ventured deeper into the forest. The path led them into a beautiful hidden grove, where tiny lights flickered all around, filling the air with a soft golden glow. Benji's eyes widened as he looked around. Hundreds of fireflies floated through the grove, twinkling like stars brought down to earth. Gentle, warm lights moved in slow, swirling patterns, lighting up the leaves, flowers, and the forest floor. Wow, Benji whispered, taking it all in. The air felt magical, filled with tiny dancing lights that pulsed with life and joy. Flicker buzzed happily beside him, her glow shining even brighter. This is my family, she exclaimed. They've been waiting to meet you. Benji's heart leapt with joy as the fireflies began to gather around him, blinking their lights in special rhythms that felt like a friendly welcome. The gentle pulses of light made Benji feel warm and special, and he couldn't help but smile. Hello, Benji, the fireflies said, their lights flashing in unison. We're so happy you're here with us tonight. Thank you, Benji replied, his voice filled with awe. It's like a light dance. Flicker buzzed closer, excited to share something special. Did you know that fireflies can talk to each other through their lights? We share our feelings and even send messages to one another just by blinking in fireflies began to twirl and sway, performing a gentle dance. They formed shapes in the air, a big glowing star, a crescent moon, and soft wavy patterns that floated like gentle music. Benji watched in awe as the fireflies created images in the night, the shapes shifting and twinkling around him like a light show just for him. He felt as if he were floating in a dream, surrounded by these friendly glowing stars of the forest. Their warmth and kindness made him feel cozy and safe. After a while, Benji felt a yawn escaping him. Flicker noticed and guided him to a soft patch of moss on the forest floor, surrounded by gentle lights that pulsed around him like a cozy nightlight. Lie down and rest, Benji, Flicker said softly. We'll keep you company while you sleep. Benji lay down, snuggling into the soft moss, the gentle glow of the fireflies surrounding him like a warm blanket. He looked up at his new friends who blinked softly, creating a calming rhythm that made him feel safe and loved. With the warm light of the fireflies wrapping around him, Benji let his eyes close. The last thing he saw was Flicker's soft glow beside him, and the beautiful golden lights of the fireflies all around. As he drifted into a peaceful sleep, Benji dreamed of stars and lights, of swirling patterns in the night, and the warm, gentle glow of friendship. Good night, Benji. Good night, Benji. On the fourth night of his adventures, Benji the Bear and Flicker the Firefly set off along the starry pathway once again. The night was calm and the stars above seemed to glow extra brightly, casting a soft silvery light over the forest. Tonight the path led them to a circle of tall ancient trees that reached high up into the sky, their branches swaying gently in the cool night breeze. Benji stopped and listened. The leaves of the trees rustled softly, making a quiet whispering sound that filled the air. It was as if the trees were speaking to each other in their own language, sharing old secrets and stories carried by the wind. What are they saying? Benji whispered to Flicker, his eyes wide with wonder. These are the whispering trees, Flicker explained. They hold all the forest stories, and at night they tell their tales in the softest whispers. Just then a small fluffy squirrel scampered down from one of the trees. His tail twitching excitedly, he stopped in front of Benji, giving a cheerful wave. "Hello, I'm Tippy," he said in a soft voice. "Were you here to listen to the trees too?" Benji smiled and nodded. "I'd love to listen to their stories, they sound so peaceful." Tippy smiled and climbed onto a low branch nearby, settling in comfortably. "If you sit very still and listen closely," he said, "you'll hear the trees share the stories of the forest. They whisper about rainy days, sunny mornings, and all the animals they've watched over. It's like they're singing everyone to sleep." Benji settled down on the soft ground beside Flicker, listening as the leaves swayed and rustled. He let his eyes close just a little, letting the sounds of the forest wrap around him. As he listened, he began to hear faint words in the trees whisper stories of gentle rains, warm sunshine, and the adventures of the forest animals. Tippy leaned in closer, his small voice barely more than a whisper. The trees remember everything, they've been here for so long, standing tall and strong, watching over all of us. They're like guardians, filling the forest with calm every night. Benji felt a sense of comfort as he listened to the stories of the whispering trees. He could almost see the scenes they were describing: little birds learning to fly, foxes playing in the leaves, and bears like him exploring the forest trails. The gentle rustling felt like a soft lullaby, each whisper blending together, filling the air with a peaceful melody. The trees seemed to sway in time with the breeze, their leaves brushing together like the pages of an ancient storybook. Benji yawned, feeling his eyes grow heavier with each passing moment. To be curled up beside him, and Flicker's gentle glow added warmth to the cool night air. Benji felt wrapped in a blanket of whispers, safe in the presence of the ancient trees. "Good night, trees," he murmured softly, feeling grateful for their stories. The whispering trees continued their quiet song, their leaves brushing together, singing the forest lullaby. Benji closed his eyes, drifting into a peaceful sleep, comforted by the stories of the trees and the gentle presence of his friends. Good night, Benji. of his journey, Benji the Bear set off along the starry pathway, with Flicker, his loyal firefly friend, glowing softly at his side. Tonight the air felt cooler, and Benji noticed that the forest was wrapped in the cozy, earthy smells of fallen leaves and soft moss. The pathway led them deeper into the woods, where everything felt calm and welcoming. As they walked, Benji noticed a warm glow coming from behind a thick patch of bushes. Curious, he gently pushed his way through the leaves and found himself in front of a cozy den, nestled in the roots of a large tree. The entrance was lined with soft leaves, and warm light flickered gently from inside. Flicker's glow brightened with excitement. Benji, look, I think we found the fox's den. At that moment, a gentle face peeked out from the den's entrance. It was Mother Fox, her golden fur glowing in the soft light from within the den. She smiled warmly when she saw Benji and Flicker. "Hello, Benji. Hello, Flicker," she said in a soft, welcoming voice. "Would you like to come inside and rest with us tonight?" "Oh yes, please," Benji replied, feeling a cozy warmth in his chest. The thought of being inside such a snug, warm den filled him with excitement. As Benji and Flicker entered, they saw 3 small fox kids nestled together, blinking up at him with curious eyes. They wagged their fluffy tails, inviting him to snuggle close. The floor of the den was covered in moss and soft leaves, creating a warm bed that felt like the softest blanket. "Come sit with us," said one of the little foxes, scooting over to make space. "Mama sings us a lullaby every night to help us fall asleep." Benji settled down on the soft moss, and Flicker nestled in close, her light casting a gentle glow over everyone in the den. Mother Fox curled up beside her kids and began to hum a gentle, soothing lullaby. Her voice was soft and low, filling the den with warmth and calm. The melody was simple but beautiful, with a rhythm that reminded Benji of a gentle breeze or the soft flow of a quiet stream. He closed his eyes, letting the lullaby wrap around him like a cozy hug. The fox kids snuggled close, and Benji felt the warmth of their fur pressing gently against Lee. As Mother Fox continued to hum, the den seemed to fill with a sense of peace and comfort. The outside world felt distant, and the soft glow of Flicker's light made everything feel safe and cozy. One of the little foxes, barely awake, leaned against Benji and murmured, "Mama says her lullaby comes from the forest itself, that the trees, the streams, and the stars all sing together to make it." Benji smiled, his eyes feeling heavy with sleep, as he imagined the whole forest joining in a quiet song just for them. The lullaby and the gentle warmth of his fox friends made him feel as if he were wrapped in a soft, dreamy cloud. He let out a contented sigh, feeling his thoughts drift away with each note of Mother Fox's lullaby. Her voice was like a soft blanket wrapping around his heart, filling him with the most peaceful feeling continued. Benji's breathing grew slow and steady. He felt the gentle rise and fall of the fox kids breathing beside him, and the comforting glow of flicker nearby. It was a night made of warmth and friendship, a night that held him in perfect peace. Good night, Benji. Of his journey, Benji the Bear set off along the starry pathway. The flicker, the firefly, buzzing happily by his side. Tonight, the path felt a little different, as though it were leading them somewhere open and filled with sky. A gentle breeze brushed through the trees, and Benji could smell the fresh, cool scent of dew. Soon the pathway brought them to the edge of a wide, open meadow. Above, the sky stretched out in a deep velvety blue, dotted with countless stars. But what made the meadow feel even more magical were the clouds that floated low to the ground, drifting just above the grass and glowed faintly in the moonlight. Wow, whispered Benji, his eyes wide with wonder. I've never seen clouds like these before. Flicker's light brightened with excitement. These are the dreamy clouds, she explained. They only come down to the meadows on the quietest of nights. They're soft and gentle, like big fluffy pillows floating in the air. As they stepped further into the meadow, one of the clouds drifted over to them. As if it were curious, the cloud was soft and fluffy, with an inviting, friendly glow. It bobbed gently up and down, and Benji could almost hear a gentle hum, like a soft, faraway lullaby. Hello, Benji, said the cloud in a voice as light as the breeze. I'm Puffy. Would you like to go on a little float with me? Oh, I'd love to, Benji replied, his heart filling with excitement. He climbed onto Puffy's soft surface, feeling like he was resting on the fluffiest pillow. Puffy floated up, lifting him gently into the air, and Benji felt light as a feather as they drifted together over the meadow. Benji looked down and saw the forest from above. He could see the starry pathway winding its way through the trees, the sparkling river he had visited, and even the whispering trees. Everything below looked small and peaceful, like a magical world all its own. Flicker floated beside them, her light glowing even brighter. Look, Benji, she whispered, pointing up to the sky. We're closer to the stars now. We're closer to the stars now. Benji looked up, and his heart filled with awe. Puffy drifted slowly, humming a soft tune that matched the stars' gentle glow. The stars watch over everyone in the forest, Puffy said. They send down peaceful dreams for all the animals. And tonight, they're sending one just for you. Benji closed his eyes for a moment, breathing in the cool, fresh air, feeling a calmness wash over him. He could feel the gentle rise and fall of Puffy beneath him, as if he were floating on a cozy cloud in the middle of a dream. After a while, Puffy began to drift back down to the meadow, lowering Benji gently onto the soft grass. Flicker landed beside him, her warm light blending with the glow of the meadow. Benji lay back, looking up at the stars that twinkled like little lullabies in the sky. Thank you, Puffy, Benji said softly. This has been the most magical night. You're welcome, Benji, Puffy replied in a soft, breezy voice. Remember, whenever you look up at the stars, you'll know they're watching over you. With that, Puffy floated back into the sky, joining the other dreamy clouds. As they drifted over the meadow, Benji snuggled into the cool, soft grass, feeling as if he were still floating in the air. Flicker nestled close beside him, her gentle glow adding warmth to the night. Benji let his eyes close, listening to the quiet hum of the meadow and the soft whispers of the clouds above. As he drifted into sleep, he dreamed of stars and clouds, of floating through the night with friends by his side. Good night, Benji. Good night, Benji. On the seventh night of his journey along the starry pathway, Benji the Bear set off with Flicker, the firefly glowing brightly by his side. The night was quiet and calm, filled with a gentle stillness that made the world feel soft and peaceful. Tonight, Benji noticed a new sound, one that he hadn't heard before. It was a rhythmic, soothing chirping that seemed to rise and fall in the distance, like a gentle heartbeat pulsing through the forest. Curious, Benji followed the sound until he and Flicker came upon a small moonlit clearing. There, spread out across the grass and around the rocks, was a group of crickets, each chirping in a soft, steady rhythm. Their song filled the air with a calm, steady melody that felt like it was made just for the nighttime. Flicker smiled as she noticed Benji listening closely. This is the night cricket choir, she explained. They sing their lullaby every night, helping the forest feel calm and sleepy. As Benji watched, one of the crickets hopped over to him. He was a little larger than the other crickets, with a shiny shell that glinted in the moonlight. The cricket gave a polite bow and said, "Hello, Benji, I'm Maestro, the conductor of our little choir. Welcome to our nighttime concert. Benji's face lit up with joy. Hello, maestro. Your song is so beautiful and soothing. Maestro gave a pleased nod. Thank you, Benji. Each of us has a part to play in the song of the night. We work together to create a lullaby that helps all the animals in the forest drift into a gentle sleep. Benji settled down in the grass beside Flicker, watching as the crickets arranged themselves in a circle. Maestro gave a little chirp as a signal, and each cricket began to chirp in perfect harmony, their sounds blending together like the gentle rustling of leaves in the breeze. The rhythm was steady and calming like the beat of a soft drum. As Benji listened, he felt his body start to relax. The rhythm of the crickets chirping seemed to match his own heartbeat, and he let himself sway gently to the music, feeling as if he were part of the song itself. The night felt softer and more peaceful, wrapped in the crickets' lullaby. This is wonderful, Benji whispered to Flicker. It feels like the whole forest is singing me to sleep. That's exactly what the crickets want, Flicker replied. They sing so that every animal can feel safe, cozy, and ready for sweet dreams. Benji closed his eyes for a moment, focusing on the gentle, repetitive song. The crickets chirped in a way that sounded like they were sharing secrets, each note blending into the next, creating a soft blanket of sound. Maestro and his choir seemed to know just how to keep the tune steady and soothing, and Benji felt his thoughts drifting like leaves on a gentle stream. After a while, Maestro hopped over to Benji once more. Whenever you hear our song, he said kindly, know that it's a lullaby made just for you, to keep you safe and calm as you drift to sleep. Thank you, Maestro, Benji murmured, his eyes growing heavy. Your song is the most peaceful thing I've ever heard. With a final bow, Maestro returned to the choir, and the crickets continued their gentle chirping, filling the clearing with their soft, steady rhythm. Benji lay down on the cool grass, letting the melody wrap around him like a cozy blanket. Flicker nestled close beside him, her warm glow blending with the moonlight as he drifted into sleep. Benji dreamed of soft sounds, gentle rhythms, and the comforting song of the night cricket choir, filling the forest with peace and calm. Good night, Benji. journey along the starry pathway, Benji the Bear felt a special sort of wonder in the air. The night was unusually still, with only the softest rustle of leaves and the distant hoot of an owl flicker. His faithful firefly friend hovered by his side, her warm light casting a gentle glow as they followed the pathway deeper into the forest. After a little while, Benji noticed something shimmering up ahead, a soft silvery light that seemed to float just above the ground. As he walked closer, he saw that the pathway had led them to a small crystal clear pond. The water was so still and smooth that it looked like a mirror, perfectly reflecting the starry sky above. The stars and moon seemed to rest upon the water's surface, twinkling and sparkling as if they were hidden in the pond itself. "Look, Flicker," Benji whispered, his voice filled with awe. "It's like the stars have come down to join us." Flicker hovered over the pond, her light mixing with the starlight in a gentle glow. "This is the star pond," she explained. "It's a magical place that holds a piece of the stars every night, creating a calm spot for the whole forest." Just then, Benji noticed a small splash at the edge of the pond. A wise-looking frog with smooth green skin and bright eyes appeared on a lily pad, gazing up at him with a kind expression. The frog gave a polite nod and said, "Hello there, Benji, I'm Ripple, the keeper of the star pond. Welcome to this peaceful place." Benji smiled and settled down at the edge of the pond, curious to learn more. "It's so beautiful here, Ripple. How does the pond hold all the stars?" Ripple's eyes twinkled as he explained, "Every night the pond borrows a piece of the star's light to help calm the forest. When the water is still, it mirrors the sky, creating a quiet, magical place for everyone to feel safe and at peace." Benji gazed into the pond, watching as tiny stars seemed to float just beneath the surface, each one shining with a gentle, steady light. He felt a warmth spreading through him, as if the stars were sending a special message just for him, a message of peace, calm, and comfort. Ripple croaked softly, his voice as steady as the pond. "If you look into the star pond and make a wish, the stars will carry it high into the sky. They hear every wish, especially the quiet ones whisper before sleep." Benji closed his eyes, letting himself imagine a wish for a peaceful forest where all his friends would feel safe and happy under the night sky. He opened his eyes and looked into the pond, feeling a sense of calm like he had never felt before. Flicker settled beside him on the edge of the pond, her light blending with the starlight, reflecting off the water. She too gazed into the pond, looking as peaceful as Benji felt. After a little while, Ripple let out a soft, contented croak. "The pond will hold your wish, Benji, and whenever you look up at the stars, remember that they're carrying it for you." Benji lay down on the cool grass beside the pond, letting the soft, silvery light wrap around him like a cozy blanket. The gentle reflection of the stars made him feel as though he were floating among them, held in their quiet sparkling embrace. With a contented sigh, Benji closed his eyes. The last sounds he heard were the soft ripples of the pond and the comforting croaks of ripple nearby, lulling him into a deep, peaceful sleep. As he drifted into dreams, Benji imagined himself dancing among the stars, each one carrying a piece of his wish, and filling the forest with light and love. Good night, Bella. On the 9th night of his journey, Benji the Bear set out along the starry pathway, wrapped in the quiet stillness of a winter night. Snow had fallen softly over the forest, covering everything in a sparkling blanket of white. The world looked magical, with each snowflake reflecting the silvery light of the moon and stars, and the air felt crisp and clean as Benji breathed it in. Flicker the firefly floated by his side, her tiny light glowing warmly against the snowy landscape. Her glow created a gentle warmth around them as they walked, making the cold air feel cozy and soft. As Benji followed the snowy path, he noticed tiny paw prints crisscrossing through the snow. Curious, he looked closer, just as a small white figure bounded across his path. It was a snow hare, her white fur blending perfectly with the snow around her. She stopped and turned to face Benji, her eyes bright and friendly. "Hello there," she said cheerfully, her voice soft as a whisper in the snow. "I'm Frost. Are you enjoying the snow tonight?" Benji smiled, enchanted by the winter wonderland all around him. "Hello, Frost. I love the snow. It's so soft and sparkly, like the stars have fallen down into the forest." Frost nodded, hopping a little closer. "That's exactly what it is. My mother used to tell me that snowflakes are like tiny stars come down from the sky, bringing a special kind of magic to the forest." Benji looked up at the sky, then back at the snowflakes drifting down around him. "They're so gentle and quiet," he said. "It feels like they're singing a lullaby, just for us." Frost's nose twitched with excitement. Would you like to lie down and watch the snow fall with me? It's the best way to see the magic of the snowflakes. Benji nodded, and Frost led him to a soft snowy spot on the ground. Benji laid down, feeling the cool fluffiness of the snow beneath him. Flicker floated above, her glow illuminating the snowflakes as they drifted down like tiny sparkling stars. As they lay there, Benji watched each snowflake fall from the sky, each one unique and delicate, floating gently until it landed on the forest floor. The snow made no sound as it fell, adding to the quiet peace of the night. Frost stretched out beside him, and her voice was soft as she said, "Snowflakes are made to help the forest rest. They cover everything with a soft blanket, protecting it through the winter. When the world is quiet, the snow tells all the creatures that it's time to rest." Benji felt a warmth spread through him. Despite the cold around him, the snowflakes drifted down, covering him in a thin, gentle layer that felt like a soft, cozy blanket. He watched as Flicker's light made each snowflake glow, turning the forest into a sparkling, magical world. He sighed happily, feeling his eyes grow heavy. "Thank you, Frost," he whispered. "This is the coziest blanket I've ever had." Frost smiled, curling up close beside him. "You're very welcome, Benji. The snow is here to keep you warm and safe, just like the stars above." With the gentle weight of the snow settling around him, Benji let his eyes close. He felt the softness of the snowflakes on his fur, the warmth of Flicker's glow, and the gentle presence of his new friend Frost. As he drifted off to sleep, Benji imagined himself wrapped in a blanket made of snowflakes and stars, held close by the quiet beauty of the winter night. Good night, Benji. Of his journey, Benji the Bear set out on the starry pathway, feeling a special kind of excitement. Flicker the firefly floated by his side, her gentle glow lighting the way as they walked along the winding path. Tonight, the pathway led them up to the tallest hill in the forest, a place where the sky stretched wide above and every star seemed close enough to touch. When they reached the top, Benji stopped and looked up, his breath catching in his chest. The night sky was filled with countless stars, twinkling brightly, each one a tiny light. In the vast dark sky, they seemed to dance, shimmering and sparkling in a gentle rhythm, like they were humming a song only they could hear. "Look, Flicker," Benji whispered in awe. "The stars look even closer from up here. It's like they're all around us." Flicker's glow brightened with excitement. "This is a special place, Benji. It's where the stars gather to share dreams with the forest." As Benji watched, one of the stars began to glow brighter than the others. It shimmered gently, drifting closer as if it were coming down to meet him. The star floated just above the hill, its light warm and welcoming. Benji stared in wonder as it hovered before him, shining softly like a friend he'd known forever. "Hello, Benji," the star said in a voice as soft as the night breeze. "I'm Glimmer, and I've come to share the stars' lullaby with you. Benji's eyes sparkled with delight. A lullaby just for me, yes, said Glimmer. The stars watch over the forest every night, sending down dreams and peaceful thoughts to all who sleep below. And tonight they're here just for you. Glimmer began to hum, and soon the other stars joined in, filling the air with a soft, gentle melody. The song was soothing and warm, like a lullaby woven from moonlight and wishes. The stars swayed gently, twinkling in time with the melody, creating a glowing blanket of light that stretched across the sky. Benji closed his eyes, letting the stars' lullaby wash over him. The song was soft and calming, filling him with a sense of peace and comfort. He felt as if he were wrapped in a warm, glowing hug, surrounded by the gentle presence of a million tiny lights. As the stars continued to hum, Glimmer floated closer and spoke softly. Whenever you look up at us, Benji, remember that we're always here. We're watching over you, bringing you peace and sweet dreams no matter where you are. Benji opened his eyes, looking up at Glimmer with a grateful smile. Thank you, Glimmer, he whispered. I'll always remember. Glimmer gave a gentle shimmer, like a nod, and drifted back into the sky, joining the other stars as they continued their song. The lullaby filled the night, and Benji felt his heart grow warm and calm. He lay down on the soft grass at the top of the hill, gazing up at the stars that stretched across the sky. Flicker nestled beside him, her own gentle glow blending with the light of the stars. And together they watched the twinkling lights above. As the stars' lullaby continued, Benji felt his eyes grow heavy. The song was like a soft whisper, telling him that he was safe, loved, and watched over by the stars themselves. With a deep, contented sigh, Benji let his eyes close, drifting into the sweetest, most peaceful sleep. In his dreams, he floated among the stars, each one a friend, each one a light, guiding him